Hey everyone, James Castle here, and today we're going to take a look at the Google Drive desktop app for your laptop, for your PC. Okay, so I'm logged into my Google Drive, and you can see that on the left-hand navigation menu, there's an option right here at the bottom that says Download Drive for PC. So I'm going to click that link, and it's going to take me to a download page. So I'm going to click Accept and Install, and it's going to briefly install Google Drive. And it's finished. Okay, so I'm just going to click close, and you can see that we now have the Google Drive icon down here in the system tray, and this window just popped up in the background. So I'm just going to click on that in the taskbar, and I'm going to sign in now. Okay, so I'm going to put my Clark County username here. If you ever see this kind of Google login where it just looks like it could be a regular Gmail login, all you have to do is put your full email address and not your password and just click sign in. Then it'll take you to the Clark County single sign-on page where you can enter your username and password. Okay. Alright, so now we just need a few more options to set up Google Drive. So I'm just going to click next. Now, for you, if you're just installing Google Drive for the very first time, you can just click Start Sync and it's going to start working for you. I'm going to click Advanced Setup because I need to have it sync in a different location just for the purposes of this demo. Okay, but if you're just setting up Google Drive, you can just click Start Sync and everything will work. Okay, so I just need to put my folder in a different location, and I'm just gonna put it on the desktop for the purposes of this demo. Okay, so again, you could have just clicked Start Sync. I just had to change location just for the purposes of this demo. Okay, all right, so my Google Drive has now been installed. All right, and you can see that the icon's kind of twinkling. That means that it's just taking a few minutes to sync files, and depending on how many files you have, it could take it a few minutes to sync. Okay. All right, so my Google Drive has finished syncing. I've got about 12,000 items in Google Drive, so mine took about 45 minutes or an hour to sync. You probably have less items than that, and so yours is probably going to sync much faster. All right, but when it finishes installing, this window appears, and so this is my Google Drive on my computer. So I'm viewing Google Drive through what's called Windows Explorer, or it's just the way that you usually view files on your computer. Okay, so to open this window, and I'm just going to close it so that I can go through the process of opening it for you to show you how to get to it. So I can go down here to my Start menu, and I can choose Computer, not Control Panel. So I can choose Computer, and then there's Google Drive listed under my favorites, and so that's going to take me into my Google Drive. All right, a few other ways that I can get there. I've got the Google Drive icon down here in what's called the system tray next to the clock on the bottom left. So if I click on that icon, I can choose Open Google Drive Folder. That's going to open the folder for me. I also have a shortcut on my desktop. If I double click that, it'll open the folder for me. And finally, there's an entry in my programs list, and that will open the folder for me as well. Okay, so many ways to get into your Google Drive folder, and if you look, you'll notice that these things that you're seeing listed here are synced with what I see listed in my Google Drive desktop app. So I've got them positioned so you can see both windows. So we've got 2011-2012 archive, there's 2011-2012 archive, and so on. And you can see all these, the rest of these folders match. So I'm going to change the view on this window because I prefer to see a detailed list view. So this is the View button, and I'm going to click the More Options on the View button, and I'm going to scroll down to Details. So that's going to give me a detailed list of everything that's in this folder. All right, so now I'm going to make a new folder, and I'm just going to do that by right-clicking, choosing New Folder, and I'm going to call it Google Drive Demo Video. Right? So once I've typed it out, I've made the new folder, I've given it a name. You can see there's a green check mark next to it. That means that it is synced, and it should not take very long at all for it to sync up and actually appear in my Google Drive list. Okay, so there it is, Google Drive demo video. So I created the folder here in the desktop app, and I can also see it here in the web app, because these are just two different ways of accessing the same information. Okay, so now let's say that I want to add something to this folder. Right now that folder is empty, and I can click on the folder here in the Google Drive on the web, and I can see that there's nothing there. Okay, and so I'm going to stick these two kind of next to each other, and then I've got a folder with a couple of files in it that I want to upload to my Google Drive. Okay, so I'm just going to position these three windows so that we can see all of them at once, so that we can get a picture for what's happening. All right, so what we have here, we have right here at the top right, that's the Google Drive demo video folder that I created for this demonstration inside my Google Drive. These are the files that I want to upload to my Google Drive. And then this is the Google Drive on the web, which is just the other way of accessing Google Drive. Okay? So I want to take these two files, and I'm just going to select both files by clicking and dragging over them. And I'm going to drag them over here into this folder inside my Google Drive. All right, so I drug them over there, and they are in the process of syncing right now. And so if we give it a second, there we go. Okay, we see it just appeared. So this one is synced, and it's in my Google Drive, and then that Word document is going to sync shortly as well. Okay, so this is a way of adding documents, adding files to your Google Drive. Okay, and there's the Word doc just appeared. Now, some things to notice. This is still a picture. It's not a Google Doc. Okay, I see the little icon there, the image icon. That means that it's a picture. This is still a Word document. It's not a Google Doc either. All right, I know that because it has the Word icon right there to the left of the file name. So if I click on this Word document, it's going to open up in what's called a Google Docs viewer. And it's actually saying it's unable to generate a view of the document. That's fine. That's probably because there's nothing in it. Okay, and we'll type into it in a second to show you how that works. If I click on the logo, the Clark County logo picture, I get a preview of the picture. Okay, so then how can this help us edit Office documents through Google Drive? Because I can't edit this Word document here with Google Drive on the web. But with the desktop app, if I double click on the Word document from within that Google Drive folder, it opens the document in Word where I can type. Okay, so I'm typing here. Now, to sync this file back to Google Drive, all I have to do is click Save, because the file is already located in my Google Drive folder. Okay, so I've clicked Save. I close the document. You see it had that little circular icon there for just a second. That meant it was updating. And now the most updated version is synced to my Google Drive. Okay, so now I click on that Word document, and now that there's content in the document, it generates a preview for me. Again, it's not editable here. Okay, I can't collaborate with people. I can't do any of the things that I can do using Google Docs, but I can view the document, I can store it, and I could share it with somebody else. But then you're going to have the same issues that you would have on a network drive, where if two people tried to access the Word document at the same time, only one person can have it open and edit it. And that's because it's a Word document. It's not a collaborative document. Okay, but that is just an overview of how you can use the Google Drive desktop app, which we're viewing here now, to create folders, to move files into your Google Drive, and to help better manage the organization and uploading of files to Google Drive.